Here is our next president of the United States. He will be running against Mike Pence in 2024. Tom Cotton. I'm, of course, being a little facetious. He's on Fox News. And what's Tom Cotton? What beat is Tom Cotton on? He's on the "we know who the real enemies are" here beat.
It's a scandal to me that we have trained so many of the Chinese Communist Party's brightest minds to go back to China to compete for our jobs, to take our business, and ultimately to steal our property and design weapons and other devices that can be used against the American people. So I think we need to take a very hard look at the visas that we give to Chinese nationals to come to the United States to study, especially at the postgraduate level in advanced scientific and technological fields. You know, if Chinese students want to come here and study Shakespeare and the Federalist Papers, that's what they need to learn from America. They don't need to learn quantum computing and artificial intelligence from America.
Well, they're certainly making sure that anybody in China is learning the culture of China. You make a good point. Let's make sure.
All right. First off, I should just remind Tom Cotton that Shakespeare is not American.
Yeah, you got that? Matt, wasn't he? You're the literary genius here. He was born in one of the territories, right? Before it was an actual state. It was like the Dakota Territory, or maybe it's like Colorado.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I was ready to weigh in that he was born actually in England, as the literary expert here.
I appreciate that, but the point that Tom is making, I think everybody gets. If they want to come here and learn about white culture, then they can. But then they have to go back. But you know what's a funny story? Here's a funny story about this. Brendan, check out that link I just sent you. Pop this up. Here's a story by ProPublica. The Trump administration drove him back to China, where he invented a fast coronavirus test. Story of a Chinese professor, 59 years old. He did what apparently many academics do, which is failed to fully disclose on a disclosure form the Chinese academic appointments and funding he would get. He was working at a university in Florida, and he taught for about 25 years at, I think it was University of Florida, raised two sons in Gainesville, Florida. He was a participant in the 1,000 Talents program, which is China's aggressive effort to lure top scientists from the U.S. universities. He had been working part-time at Hunan University for even longer than he had taught at Florida, right? You have appointments at different universities. That happens all the time. And then he started to get pressure from the federal government, and he left. And then when he got to in 2019, and then he was one of the guys who basically developed a super quick test for coronavirus that they're using apparently in China. So lesson learned. Thanks, Tom.
It's kind of scary, but this context, it reminds you of Nazi conception of Jewish science a little bit. And I mean, really what they're doing, the right wing with this, I think, is attacking higher education in general, because these students often pay the full tuition to go there. These are like huge moneymakers for students. And yeah, it's going to hurt. I mean, higher ed better buckle up, because I think some major structural changes are coming there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm just surprised Tom Cotton is so confident that those crafty Orientals aren't going to figure out a way to use Shakespeare against this great country of ours.
That's right. Be careful with your Shakespeare. Maybe dipped in coronavirus.